Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Last Second by Catherine Coulter and J.T. Ellison. Now, I'm just going to read a little bit of the back. So, Galactus, France's answer to SpaceX, has just launched a communication satellite into orbit, but the payload actually harbors a frightening weapon, a nuclear bomb that can trigger a massive electromagnetic pulse. Now, it goes on to talk about, a doctor who's in command and, will have the power to blow up the world and whatever else. Now, the thing is, I was really excited about this book when I bought it initially. Here it goes on to speak of the Newman, which are aliens that saved her during a spacewalk, and it was well written. I was able to immerse myself into the story, into the characters. There was good character development. There was nothing ever really confusing about who the characters were, the roles that they played. Very good imagery, well written. However, my pet peeve of said, it seemed still present. I haven't come across a book yet where no book has actually had it at all, and so again, some people might say that I'm nitpicking, but in terms of a sci-fi story, I feel like even though it was based on kind of real world things, I think that it overshot it a little bit, like it bit off more than it could chew, story-wise, and it didn't seem believable. Now, I know that, for sci-fi is meant to be kind of like out there, but this one just had way too many things out there, like the aliens, the Holy Grail, mentions the Holy Grail, and it was just, there was just so many things all over the place, something so crazy and drastic that is like, what was even going on? So conceptually, it was super all over the place. It was like the two writers just wanted to put anything and everything in the story, and the book was way more jam-packed than it needed to be. There's just too many big ideas trying to cram it into this book, and ultimately, for me, that ruined it. I was really excited at the beginning. By the time I'd finished this book, I absolutely was let down, and for that reason, I have a really hard time recommending this book. The sticker on the back says $23 Canadian. If you can pick this up for $5 or less, or borrow it from someone, maybe. If you're not spending a lot of money, yeah, give it a look. But just the way that the way it was written, it was well written. I'm not taking anything away from the abilities of the writers. They're good at what they do, but I felt like this, when you have two authors kind of competing, I guess, to put things into a story, it was like you have a cube, and the one person says, well, I want to put this in it, and then the other person says, well, I want to put this even bigger thing in it, and it just balloons, and it distorts it, and it's just way too much. So I think they tried to put too much into this, and ultimately it ruined it. That's just my opinion. If you guys have read this book, let me know what your thoughts are on it. If you're planning on reading it, I just said if you can get it really cheap or borrow it, that's my only recommendation. And if you do like it, let me know why you liked it. And if you don't like it, maybe you read it and you'll agree with me. Maybe you'll understand once you've read it why I said what I said. And yeah, complete opposite. The other book that I reviewed started off great, or no, it didn't start off great, and by the end of it, it was really good, really well written. It ended on a high note. This one started off really well, and then just as the story went on, just got the the concepts just became so outlandish and so crazy that even though I was in the story and I was like, oh wow, this, you know, visually I'm getting the idea of the story, the other concepts within the storyline just didn't make any sense, and unfortunately, in the end, I was let down. And you should be excited about a book from the beginning to the end. And as soon as you finished it, you should put it down and say, wow, this was fantastic, start to finish, or start off slow and have a great ending. But to start off really well and to just drop the ball at the very end, I'm disappointed. I spent way more money than I should have on this, so for that reason, all the issues that came up in the story, I just don't recommend it. But that is not my decision. It is up to you guys to take what I've said into consideration and make your own choice. So, if you end up reading it, or if you've already read it, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.